So on the way over here to work, I ain't gonna lie, like I was feeling some type of way because I was looking at I shouldn't even downloaded Snapchat again. I'm trying to stay off social media because I don't want to see what's going on in the world. But I did see this one thing where a couple was going to say that their child was a they and or them, right? And me personally, I just believe that that we are boys and girls. I just personally believe that myself because even scientifically you can look at a chromosome and it'll tell you Y or X or however that works. The chromosome tells you what gender a child is, so you don't even have to go by what people say. You can go by how science has always been for hundreds and well, even hundreds of years. Science always has been able to tell the sexes like that. So you can't even. It's not only the physical genitalia, but you can also know it from the chromosome. That's just my personal opinion. So I saw that and it was frustrating me. I saw, just a lot of different things, and it's just like I'm really promote. I wish that I agree. Like everybody should be able to make their own choices in life, live the way you want to live. It's just that when it affects me, it's a problem, and it affects the people who believe the same way that I believe. I feel like that's a problem. It's okay for you to have your own beliefs, but when you're changing laws, you're changing the whole country's laws that go against my belief. Then of course I'm gonna feel some type of way. Just like if you believe something and they change the laws against what you believe, it's the same thing. So all this time had me feel some type of way. I'm not expecting compassion or anything from people. I don't care about all that. Like people don't care about honestly, people who believe in Christ, like what they believe and stuff like that. They're actually, I feel like more is promoting that people who say like that is hate speech. They're actually, that's what's gonna happen. Honestly, it's be like hate. It's always hate speech because you don't believe what I believe, and it's like, dude, do what you want to do. Why can't I believe what you believe? Like we speak about the things that we believe, just like any other belief system. And it's funny because this country was even founded on the Christ principles and stuff like that. The Geneva Bible was brought here, and it was mandatory to read the Bible in schools, and it was mandatory to pray. Like all that stuff, it was a very strong, Christian country at first. As far as just the at least on the outside. Of course there was a lot of corruption, but it's always gonna be like that. But still, at least there was that foundation, and so now we gonna act like past 100 years, this wasn't a strong thing. We put our hands on the Bible when we're in court. This is the biggest hypocrisy to me. We put our hands on the Bible in court, but we're changing laws and we're actually going against everything that the scriptures say. Like everything that's in there, you're going against, but yet you're putting your hand on the Bible as a sign that you're about to tell the truth. So you're acknowledging that the Bible is the truth by putting your hand on the Bible in court and saying, I swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth and the whole truth. So help me God. And you're putting your hand on the Bible. We've done this in this country we're forgetting in this country. We've been doing this for like, how long? In courts. And we put our hands on the Bible and say it's the truth. So whether you believe it or not, that's what this United States have done in court systems. Put their hand on a Bible. Why? If it's just ridiculous, it's just crazy. Oh, men wrote it. Oh, it doesn't matter and stuff like that. Well, why are you putting your hand on the Bible and declaring it to be truth in your own court systems? And honestly, I'm gonna get to that honestly with the whole men wrote it and stuff like that, because this is the thing, guys. As far as my brothers and sisters out there who are believers, this is the thing, okay? I know a lot of us probably frustrated with what's going on out here. Everything that we believe is getting stomped on, and Yeshua is just being mocked. You can say Jesus Christ as a curse word, but you can't say the F word, It means a stick and a twig, if you know what I'm trying to say. But for the LGBT community, you can't say that type of slander. But when it comes to the God I worship and God I love, and hundreds and thousands of people who've been, worshiping and following this belief system, you can say our, Lord and Savior's like name as a cuss word on national television, but we can't say anything when it comes to other things. It's a hypocrisy, and you're really switching it. Like it's like a narcissist. You're claiming that someone is doing something that you're actually doing. So this culture, this world, I don't want to hear it from people who want to be like all innocent and victim in this world. All these different things that are coming against, because it's a narcissist. If you say that I'm doing something that you're actually doing, that is so evil. Like that's a narcissistic tendency. You're saying that Christian, you're saying Jesus Christ and all these things in a popular mass media platform. People are saying that Jesus, like taking in the Lord's name in vain, cussing at him, like using his name as a cuss word. Yet you're making you're so sensitive when anybody says anything remotely against your belief system. Like, okay, I don't agree with that. Then you say, oh no, why this? Oh, why did you say that your child can't play with boy toy? Why did you say your boy can't play with girl toys and stuff like that and stuff like that? And like you should, You should just let him do whatever he want to do. Yet you're using my Lord and Savior's name in vain and cussing at him, but we can't make our own decisions freely. In a free country, we can't make our own decisions on what we want to do. So this is what I'm saying. This culture and all this stuff like that, it was making me mad when I was thinking about all this stuff. Like, I'm telling you, I'm just putting in perspective because I'm going to get to what I'm trying to say about, prophecy. Like, it's crazy. You got all this stuff going on, I can't believe that they do that, They claim that they're just so innocent and they're just marching for freedom and the right. But when we want to say anything about who we love and care about, Yeshua and stuff like that, then it's a problem. You're using his name and cussing at and use it as a cuss word and stuff like that on YouTube. Hypocrisy, narcissism, all the way. Culture is just so blind to like what's actually going on. It's ridiculous. So anyway, you got all that in perspective, right? So I'm like, God, can you get me out here? Like, I don't even want to be here. Like, let them do what they do. They want to have this world burned to the ground by changing every single last thing in natural. Like, I'm like, bro, it's cool. Like, why not just? But then it was like, it hit me. I was like, dude, wait a minute. This was prophesied to happen. Give you an example. Back in the day, there was a prophet who said that there would be a Messiah, a king of Israel. So back in the day, Israel, they said, okay, a king would come, he riding on a donkey, and, he would be the Messiah, the savior of Israel, and everything like that. And so hundreds and hundreds of years later, there's a man who gets a donkey and stuff like that, and he rides through Jerusalem so that prophecy would be fulfilled. So it was fulfilled. Like, that actually happened. This man, who was just a man, told the future. Like, he's like, this is what's going to happen. He wrote it down in the Bible and everything. It's in the Old Testament. And then you look in the New Testament, for hundreds of years later, it happened. So the Bible is not just a bunch of men and people writing it, okay? This stuff was inspired, every word was inspired by the Holy Spirit, because everything that was written in the Old Testament as far as prophecies go happened in the future, okay? We can see it all day long. You can look at prophecies and fulfillment. If you want to go ahead and look, if you do your own research and say prophecy that happened in the Old Testament and then the fulfillment of it, all day long, you'll see that everything that happened, it said David said that they pierced my hands and my feet. It's in Psalms 22. They pierced my hands and my feet, and they're like dogs around me. And then Jesus gets crucified hundreds of years later. How did King David, which is a historical person who actually existed, you can clearly see it's in, like, this is a real person. Like, it's literally historical. Like, these people actually existed. Like, this is an actual real, this is not a fantasy fiction. This is real life. King David was a real king that, ruled the Israelites and Judah and all that. Like, duh. Like, it's actually a thing. And then Yeshua gets crucified and stuff like that. So it actually happened. So this is what I mean by prophecy, right? We don't have to guess what religion and all that stuff. We don't have to guess, oh, well, how do I know? How do I know? No. You go and tell me what religion or anything like that you have where men were able to predict the future. It's impossible. Like, you can't. There's no other, because God was telling these people what was going to happen, and that's what separates the men from the boys. Point blank, period. Like, there's no other Buddha, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not trying to, like, everybody has their own opinion. Like I said, I'm not trying to go from anybody. I'm just saying, me personally, this is what I'm trying to see. That's why I peeped for all my brothers and sisters. Like, yo, this is a good thing. Everything that's going on is a good thing. You know why? Because this proves everything that we've believed from the jump is true. Because everything that Yeshua prophesied, see, all those things that happened was fulfilled. He said, Yeshua said that these things must happen so that all things be fulfilled. And when Yeshua said it is finished, it means that all those prophecies were fulfilled. He was the Messiah, and he proved it by everything that happened in his life, proved all those Old Testament prophecies, everything that these men wrote down in this book, so-called men, right? They were prophets. God spoke to them in their heart. They wrote it down, and then it happened in the future hundreds of years later. That's what prophecy and fulfillment is. That means that God was really speaking from these people. That means that brings a prophet its validity. That's what a prophet is. And so that's why we can believe that these things is true. Now, you have now where Peter, his disciples and everything like that, is so crazy. Everything that's going on now, the same thing happened. These men wrote down everything that's going to happen. Paul said that, and there's a lot of, Paul, Peter, Yeshua, that men were going to be lovers of themselves. Hearts of many will grow cold. People will lose the desire, lose their natural affections and start sleeping with each other. Man and man, woman and woman, like that's prophesied was going to happen. Like so many different things, like so many different prophecies. That's just 3 off the top of the dome. Like, and I didn't even want to put any notes out here because, it's just so, like, anyone can look at this stuff for themselves and tell, and it's like, and then Peter said, the second coming, instead of a flood like Noah in his time, Noah built the ark because he said he said when Jesus comes back, it's going to be like in the days of Noah. People will be marrying and giving into marriage and all this stuff like that. And then Paul said that people are going to be saying, "Oh, the world is going on as it has from the beginning. Where is your God?" and stuff like that. Like people are going to be boasters, mockers, rioting, like all this type of stuff. So it's like there's rioting now. There's all this stuff. People are lovers of themselves. Hearts of many grown cold. People are trying to change the laws of life. Everything that's being said that happened, everything that they said was going to happen is happening. These people, these are fishermen and carpenters, like this average people, but God spoke to them and told us what was going to happen in the future. So why are we pressed about what's going on? We always knew this was going to happen, and this is just proven, that what we believe is true at the end of the day. And so all the promises that we have, like Yeshua was going to come back and redeem us, that Yeshua was going to come back and set things in order, and that there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. We have things to look forward to, because the hope that we have, all these things that he promised us, a new heaven and new earth, and there's no more pain, no more sorrow coming, and that he's going to come and be the king and rule for 1,000 years. And then, we're going to be princes and judges of the earth and all these type of things. We're going to do all these things. Like, we know that this stuff is true now, and we actually have real hope, because he was a prophet just like all the other prophets. He was God himself, and he said that this was going to happen. All the prophets in the Old Testament, what they said happened. All the prophets in the New Testament, we see it happening now, like real talk, like everything that's written down there. If you go look at it, it's crazy. So why even get mad at the stuff that's going on? He already said it was going to happen. He already said all this stuff was going to happen. So it's like, well, why get mad at it? Because the people who really believe, we have promises that come with it. Like the world is going to kill itself eventually, with all of this, genetic splicing, and, people are just controlling everything now. They're trying to create life and stuff like that. But it's like, for real, we don't got nothing to worry about, bro. We have hope. We have, a light at the end of this tunnel, B. And it's crazy because, like, we know it to be a fact. Like, it's no guesswork now. It should be easier to have faith now with all of this chaotic stuff going on. It should, refocus us on the light and the promise that we have now, because it's like, whoa, we have real hope out here. Like, everything that he promised us is going to happen, because all of the evil, all of the bad stuff is happening right in front of us. It's really easy to see. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Like, I know it's hard to, be out here with all this chaos and stuff going on, all this hypocrisy and all these lies and darkness, and people just doing whatever they want to do, and it affecting our children, it affecting our belief system that it's been going on, that actually founded this country, and actually was going on for hundreds of years and stuff like that, and thousands of years actually, and now everything's changing, and now we see the result of it. They said it was going to be, he said it was going to be diseases, said it's going to be all these type of things. We got COVID going on, and it's like, dude, how can we not? Like, you got to just look at the facts, bro. Everything that these men wrote about hundreds of years ago, almost thousands of years ago, whatever, I don't know how long, it's going on right now in detail. And you saying that men wrote the Bible, but everything that they said is coming true? That means that God spoke to them. So anyway, that's all I got to say. We got, I would encourage all of us, honestly, I'm going to try to do the same thing, to look at the promises that he told the people who actually have faith in him, to start focusing on those with confidence. Like, yo, we really lit out here, because, all those promises going to come to pass. Like, let's get it. Man. So yeah, all the things that they wrote about is happening. So all the good things that they wrote about is going to happen as well. When we go to sleep, I'm going to end it with this. When we go to sleep, we're confident that the same spirit that rose Yeshua out of that grave is going to raise us up, because these are the same people who spoke about the future and it happening. So I can really trust what they say. They have actual, they have a good resume. So when we go to sleep, even if they force us to go to sleep, even if they take our lives, our human bodies' lives, even if they do that, whatever the case may be, we know the same spirit that lives with Yeshua live with us, if he's showing us this truth, and if we believe it in our hearts. Point blank, period. Ain't nobody can take our lives from us. We're going to sleep, and that's all that you can do. But guess what, baby? Eternity's for real, and we got it forever. So let's get it. No, we good. I'm just letting everybody know, our brothers and sisters, it's hard out here to see all this evil, genocide of babies going on with these abortions, and we're looking at BET awards, and we're looking at the Trump stuff, and we got genocide going on in our own country. But for real though, it's cool because our redemption draws nigh. Our redemption is near. All right. God bless everybody.